So Selena contacted me and was like, how's your mom? And I don't want to talk to anybody, but I gave her the number of the hospital, my mom's name, and, when my mom's in these places, she always thinks she can get her out and gets upset when you can't, so I like to give her space. But I just called now, just make sure she's still there. They're instructed, to contact me, but some, people can make a mistake, and again, it's happened before where I just know you have to instruct to be contacted, and then you call and they're gone, and you don't get to know what's going on. I even have an old text from Auntie, and your mom will, you can't find out where she is, but your mom will contact us when she's ready, and it's like, whatever. I'm not Auntie. I want to know when my mom is being. I want to know. And I'm allowed to because I asked, can I be called? And they said yes. And I knew from the past I was able to be called. Again, I bought her time by justifiably kill me now. Don't send her to either of these two. So it bought her time, but in the end, I'm prepared to have her be sent to one of the two because it always happens. Anyway, we're not going to go there. I told you church woman contacted me earlier and didn't bother leaving a message. So if it was important, you'd leave a message, and I wrote back, I don't want to talk to you. If it's not I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to anybody. Okay? I said the same thing to Selena. I don't want to talk to anybody. And you can say about church woman, oh, well, you're going to shut her out or whatever, but it's not using her when you needed her. You asked me, hey, look, I did not invite church woman back into my life, did I? I had never planned to talk to her again. My mom invited her back into our lives, didn't she? Okay. You can't accuse me of using her or whatever. She's not anybody I would ever be real friends with. Okay? I don't know how old she is. Probably not much older than me. Maybe she's younger. We never knew. My mom and I used to try to figure out how old she was. We have no idea. It doesn't matter. This woman and I have nothing. I mean, I'm talking nothing in common. Okay? She's back in my life just because she's just a good person. That's why she came through for me when I broke my foot. Well, my so-called friends, they obviously weren't friends. But one, I had viewed her as a friend. But how much, I can't really be, she's married, she's whatever, and, I viewed her as a friend. Well, push came to shove, she abandoned me, and God sent woman certainly was not like a friend, but like a mother figure, and she abandoned me, and the church woman came through for me. So. But that didn't stop me from tearing her apart and vowing to never speak to her again when she betrayed me. My mom contacted her and told her, please contact my daughter and let her know what happened to me, let her know where I am, and the church woman didn't do it. She wasn't going to go over Auntie's head. And meanwhile, what authority did Auntie have? She wasn't the guardian conservator. She had voluntarily relinquished that control. It was her choice. No one fought her, as we all know. The only reason I didn't fight her, besides the fact that I didn't have the strength, and I didn't want to, if I start fighting, it's conflict in the family, and then elders will step in just like before. So I backed away and prepared myself to never have a mom again. So my mom's still there. Like I said, I bought her time because if either of those two have open beds, they have to exhaust all other options in Massachusetts first. Get it? And what does buying time get her? It gets her one-on-one. You can understand, it gets her a chance to calm down. I just talked to the nurse, but she didn't come on today till 3, and I said, is my mom mom still, I had to make sure, my mom was still, she's like, yeah, and how's she doing? Oh, she's doing okay. Does she know she's headed to a mental hospital? And she's like, yeah, I told her. I'm sure you're not the first one who told her, but so, almost 10 months ago when my first got involved with these people, when she was supposed to be in the hospital, like I told you, and in the mental hospital, I fucked it up. This is when, you know, she had her own apartment, and no one could blame me for shit. But I fucked it up, and unintentionally. But before I fucked it up, and they were just telling me, and the nurse was assuring me, you know, it was like, he's like, don't worry, you know, because I was crying, and like, if she has to go to the hospital, not these two, please, and I was crying, and she's like, don't worry, the psychiatrist is hands-on when you mind. I'm like, they never have been before. They get her in their clutches, these mental hospital doctors, and then it's like she never even existed before they met her, and she never had a life in the outside world. So let's see if they put their money where their mouth is, and if that really is true. It's never been true before, ever. 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 Not only do they just leave her to the clutches of whatever mental hospital doctor gets a hold of her, but they also don't even, no matter what meds she's put on in the mental hospital, they keep it in the outside world. They don't change it one iota. I mean, I told you I had to go over their heads before, and I had a backup from an old, who used to be a friend on YouTube. What was it? No, I don't even know what the damn medication is. It's been with T. Whatever it was. It's one thing when they're trying to drug you up in the mental hospital because they want you to be quiet, and my mom has a tendency to want to wander around, or, you know, they want to keep you in your bed, they want to keep you pacified, you know, docile, cooperative. And they had her on an obscene dosage of that fucking medication. 100 milligrams. And that's just, this woman said that's obscene, on top of all her other meds, and she wasn't even able to stay awake during the day. She was putting me and Angel and Omar and herself, she was putting us all in danger. She was so drugged up. That was that horrible hospital where, you know, she had suffered that seizure, first time ever in her life, and when she got committed, and I went to the commitment hearing, and they had her so fucking drugged up. And of course Auntie's like, you know, because we got to be compliant, blah, 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 you know, eldest earth, blah, 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 whatever. And I said, fuck this shit. And then it turned out it's as needed. It says right on the bottle, you don't have to take it. And I didn't care. I didn't get permission. I had her take 25 milligrams instead of 100. It was obscene when she was on. But if I wasn't in the picture, she would have just been a good little girl, and Auntie was like, you need to take whatever they have you on, and the psychiatrist was just a little nurse practitioner twit, doesn't question it, and it was sickening. Everything that has happened to my mom is sick over these past years. Sick, 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 sick. Okay? Sickening, beyond sickening. Anyway, you know, the bitch I can't stand, and was trying to avoid ever talking to again. I can't help it if I might have talked to her on the phone, but I sure as hell didn't ever want to see her in person, ever stepping in my home, especially when the living room's a mess. And the churchman was like, well, it's none of their business. Yeah, you don't understand. That's why I need you in limited dosages, because when push comes to shove, you don't get it. Selena gets it, Joe gets it. They're looking at every fucking little thing, you know. And meanwhile, this ongoing contracting nightmare included my closet. I can't bring everything and put it all into my closet. My closet would hold a lot of stuff. I have to keep it all out. And then it was supposed to be all done last Wednesday, and it wasn't. And now it's supposed to be done tomorrow, and with this storm, it might not be. Did you get it? They're looking at anything. You could say, how can they judge you because there's stuff in the living room, because there's a whole pile of shit in the living room, and then if they can think, oh, Samantha fell the other day, and she'll say, I fell over the dustpan, but meanwhile, the dustpan was in the corner where it belonged, and I didn't witness it, but my guess is that she fell over her own feet when getting up, and she shouldn't even have been obsessed about sweeping when she just got up anyway, and this chair right here, you know. And I think the police or someone they were saying something about you sit just on this chair. What's the difference? Even if there were dining room chairs there, and you're going to judge that too, people? You know, what do you want? The chairs fell apart. I live here alone. I didn't need chairs. And my mom hasn't been back here for that long. There's things we were going to do and things we were going to fix and things whatever. She wasn't back here hardly at all. How long was she back here before we spent almost 3 weeks in that hotel? I mean, come on. And you could say, you really think these people are going to judge the living room and all that? Oh, yeah, I do. You wouldn't think in a million years that bitch is going to judge my personal, outgoing message that I left from my mom at night. The night, it was the middle of the night, but it's my mother, and I wasn't expecting these people to call in a million years, and I hadn't given them my cell phone number, so why are they going to call it? And of course the bitch had to say, why wouldn't you expect us? Oh my God, fuck you! And then can you imagine how I was feeling? Can you imagine? This was that horrible phone call, okay? Talking at me, talking down to me, patronizing, and I admitted that I was wrong about one thing, but then I brought up other stuff that I wasn't wrong about, and she just negated everything, and she's talking to me in this condescending, patronizing manner like she always did, and she actually, she's like, you know, we were trying to reach you, we weren't able to, and then she gives, you know, and then she mentions the message. But this is the same woman, remember, who had felt that I mean, you were in that bathroom for over 20 minutes. We were waiting. I mean, that's publicly scolding me. I'm a friggin' adult in the middle of a public waiting room, a dentist. I mean, and what the fuck does she think she is? What the fuck does this fucking bitch think she is? Anyway. Selena said the same thing. Who does she think she is? Oh my God. Who does she think she is? I'm going to be honest with you, Laura. There's some real concern here. And I'm put on the defensive. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that message. And she's like, just go listen to it again. Did you listen to it, Laura? Listen to it. Oh, fuck you. There was nothing wrong with it, you understand? It's my personality. It's me. My mom was having trouble listening to her own voicemails, and I knew I was counting her to call me. And it was a personal thing. I was leaving for my mom. It was nothing bad. It was long, and she was pissed. The bitch was pissed that she had to sit through it and wait through it. Meanwhile, was I expecting her to call at all? No. And I had to be on the defensive and be like, what is she talking about? And then I went back, called her back, and I'm like, I said, you called on my cell phone. Oh, I didn't even get the message. And then she was like, see, Laura, this is a constructive. You are a fucking cunt. Every word out of your mouth I read between the lines because I'm smart. And you can turn it all on me, and you like see how you're acting, and because you put me on the defensive, you're constantly snide with me, patronizing, condescending. That's why I get all agitated and flustered, and you can turn around and say X, Y, and Z about me. That's what you do to me, bitch. That's why I hid in my mother's dentist bathroom. If it had been anybody but you, I would have been sitting in the lobby with them. Would have gone to the bathroom, done my thing, and come out. But you don't know that I wasn't sick in there. You don't know anything, and you're such a judgmental fucking cunt. You judge my friggin' outgoing voicemail. You judge my you know, that I try to, even if I get it wrong sometimes, I'm trying to, you know, protect my mom and make sure everything's okay, and you know, and question you and whatnot. I have that right. I'm her family member. I'm her only, all she has. And I have to hear shit from you. She's our client, not you. Fuck you. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Take everything from me, you fucking conniving government fucks. But you can't take, just like I used to say about my aunt, you can't take my voice, you can't take my mind, and the whole world is going to know who you are. We didn't know. The DMH worker told us nothing. We didn't even know. And then it was too late. You're already forming your little opinions of me, of the situation, about which you know nothing, because the DMH worker didn't deem it necessary to prejudice you against us or for you to know every sort of detail, so you're going to reach your own conclusions, and that's it. And then if I had the nerve to say you have no right to question my mom, and what happens? Elder Services comes a knocking at her door. And you can do this all in the name of we're just trying to protect her. Yeah, bullshit. That is such fucking bullshit that, oh, you know, but so many ignorant people, they can think what you want. I'm not here to change your mind or whatever. Because I got people like Selena and Joe and you know, who know the truth. It's bullshit. I'll be honest with you, Laura, there's some real concern here. This is the same phone call where she was, again, I'm not telling you exactly, but admittedly I was wrong about something, but it was not something that you condemn me for life for. It's just a misunderstanding. Again, I'm not used to having all these people. I'm used to taking care of my mom myself, and you know, but no one in there, they're not going to cut me any slack. They're not going to, you know, and then she proceeded to accuse me of doing things I hadn't done, and you know I hate that. That goes back to being abused by my father, and you get accused of doing things you knew you didn't do. Where's my cup? I know you took my cup, Laura. I didn't take your cup, Daddy. I have no fucking clue in the universe what you're talking about. I don't even know what cup you're talking about. I didn't take your damn cup. Yes, you did. For example, suffice to say, if I know I didn't do something, which I knew, and my mom knew it too. I said, Mom, I knew, and just because my mom said she has her own brain, even though you guys treat her like she doesn't. When she tries to say how she feels, you negate her and just say it's me, putting words in her mouth. Because she's happy with you, or whether she has to be. It's like a kidnapping victim. A kidnapping victim wants to stay alive. You can't say you're a motherfucking rapist, but you know, and I know you're gonna kill. You have to play along. I mean, but I know what my mom was saying to me about you. She can't say it to you, but to you, it's like she doesn't have a brain, so anything she says against you, since she seems perfectly happy, and it's coming from me. I'm the problem, I'm the whatever, okay? I did not, in any manner whatsoever, and I'd even said to a nurse, and again, the bitch who treats me like shit is not management and not a nurse, okay? And I had even said to her, I said, I didn't say anything. I said this to her before. I said, when I talked, I said, I didn't say anything to my mom. I didn't feel it was my place. And she goes, of course it's your place. You're her daughter. Yeah, tell that to your coworker. but then you'll turn around and you're nice and she's aggressive and domineering just like my aunt, and you guys all will just, you know, I see it. But it's not right. It's not right. A group of people working together are still individual human beings where you can like one more than the other and one can fuck up and you have a right. No, you can't. Can't say anything bad about one against the other. Not allowed. My mom experienced that firsthand, and so did I. You're not allowed. So where the fuck, I ask you again, do you turn? You don't. You're trapped. Trapped unless you move far away. Which isn't an option if my mom's locked up in a mental hospital, you know? Isn't an option even if she's sick. There's only an option if that's what she wants to do. But it's the only thing. One thing after another happened. The minute the dynamics changed, when I knew that they called elder services, and so did my mom, but she didn't know I could avoid them as much as possible. She can't. It was horrible. And then one thing after another, my mom was saying, she's trying to get to the bottom of it, and I'm like, Mom, did you find out anything? No, they won't tell me anything, Laura. I'm like, and my mom's like, Laura, she doesn't understand, she's a child. She's like, why the secrecy, Laura? What does she expect me to say? Because they're assholes. Like, you know how that one treated me. You see how the one you adored is treating you when you have the nerve to complain about the one who treated you and me like that. I mean, and then they have to go, you like her, don't you? And what's my mom supposed to say? It's sickening. It's so sickening that if I weren't in it and know it happened and have it all documented, I'd be in shock if I was hearing about it happening to someone else. Like, you gotta be kidding me, you know? I'm not kidding you. Just because my mom can't remember and she tries to block it out, she still remembers some stuff, she doesn't want to hear it. And the more time that passes by, she doesn't remember the dentist incident. She does, thankfully, still remember elder services showing up at her apartment and everything, but she should now, when she's in denial, you don't know it was them that sent her. Wow, well, who else did, Mom? This wasn't a case where your doctor didn't say it's a case where someone witnessed you and I arguing in the street or something. He said your competency is in question. And if you're well and your competency is questioned, because these motherfucking bitches want to know why I'm living in your home and you're not, and they can't think anything other in their pea brain except that it's all me, and they don't know anything about your sister, and they just think, you know, oh, it's sickening. What right do they have to jump to, I said it in very articulate, what right do you have to jump to conclusions and make false assumptions, you know, about things about which you know nothing. You entered our lives 5 months ago. We had a complicated life before then. You have the right to use your power over my mom, to use your position of power to drill her, and it made her nervous and uncomfortable, and you know, and it come to her defense, and all this nervous stuff knocking at her door. And I'm left thinking, what the fuck? And then I'm left thinking, oh my God, what happens if she ever gets hospitalized? And we're in these dynamics where there's a huge rift between, you think if my mom, anything, this is bad for my mom, it's not good for her in other ways, because anything goes with my mom. Am I going to say anything to them? No, they're the enemy now. I tell them nothing. You think I tell them if my mom forgets to take her med? I tell them nothing. They're around her, they can figure it out for themselves. I tell them nothing, because they did that to her, sending elders, and us sending elder service without knowing shit about anything. And then all the months in, I get a shock. My shock them to my system. They don't even know the DMH worker, Laura. Oh my, you've got to fucking be kidding me. And I thought he was over them. I thought I could report to him, and complain to him, and he would talk. Oh my God. Were we like tricked? Were we like not just up front? Like she signed her fucking life away. I'm like, you're kidding me, Mom. She's like, no. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. These people get to step in and take over and shut me out and push me away and have suspicions of me. And I even in the letter said, you know, if DMH work had deemed it necessary for you to know everything, you would have told management. And even if management knows, that doesn't mean required to tell everybody, you know. But it turns out he didn't. And I'm sure he thought that was a good thing. You know what? Why did they need to know? They're just supposed to be helping my mom. No. I'm imperfect human being. So that gave them an in, or really the bitch an in, but again, she's the leader without being so, okay? Just like my aunt was the leader of our family. It's not anything, it's just how it is, you know? She runs the show, I see it. Because I see her talking to me and treating me like shit, and the other one's not doing it, so it's not rocket science, see? Then they have new management come in. Not the one who was so kind to me and talked to me for 45 minutes about my mom's horrible landlord. She stayed on the phone with me for 45 minutes. That's a nice person. They have new management come in who doesn't bother to introduce herself to me, who, when there was a problem with my mom's meds and I wanted to talk to her, I get told by someone else, oh, she says just tell you that we're going to get your mom a home nurse, and that's it. And she's brand new and she only knows what the bitch tells her, and that's it, you know. So she comes in prejudiced against me. You get it? And so did the brand new nurse that my mom loved. Comes in prejudice against me. And even my mom was taken aback when she tried to say what had happened, but they just feel like I'm forcing my mom. And I'm not exactly forcing my mom, but I am saying you gotta, you know, this has to be out in the open, Mom. You know, I know how you feel. And she bravely brought it up. And all she got was, why do you think you felt, you know, got negated. And then she was sickened too. And from that day forward, she's not trusting these people, but she doesn't know what to do, and then she starts getting sick. And then when she's sick, she's brave, and they're not liking it because she's like, she said, Laura doesn't trust you, and neither do I. And then to the other one, who she's best buddy who's with now, has to be in my home 2 nights in a row, she said to her, like, she was brave. When she's sick, she's braver. She's starting to get sick, but she didn't wind up in the hospital, but she was braver, and she's like, who sent out the and then the bitch goes, that's our business, and you know, and then they try to get her to sign that paper and won't tell her what it is, and you know, and she was like, I'm not signing anything, and she's like, I even have it on, I think on a voicemail I saved, like, that I saved, I had to take it off my phone, you can only hold 20 voice, I have to put it on recording, but on a camera thing, but where I think it's on recording, you know, they wanted me to sign some paper, which the one that she had liked so much that changed her colors. They wanted me to sign some paper, and you would have been proud of me, Laura. I wouldn't do it, and they were mad. And I asked them, what is this? And they go, nothing, just sign it. And I wouldn't. And I said, I want Laura to see it. And do you think they go and make a copy and let Laura see it? No. And the interesting thing is, I didn't even tell Churchwoman this story, and when we're talking about these people, she's like, and my mom, and she's like, and you know, make sure you tell your mom never to sign anything. And I'm like, yeah, she knows. Let me tell you this, that what they did, and the Churchwoman goes, that's illegal. And I'm like, is it? She's like, yeah, she's mentally ill. They can't do that, but they did. And Selena says it's illegal too. But then Selena goes, well, that's not good. If your mom can't understand it, that means she's not competent. She can be competent and still not understand a piece of paper. She's mentally ill, and she has problems seeing and reading it. And they wouldn't explain it to her. They said, just sign it. That's so bad. That's so, like, I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe, flash forward, when they know I don't want them, that I had changed my number, and I don't want them having my new cell, and my mom knew, she was instructed not to give it to them, and they knew that, and they just got it from her notebook and called me, because they felt like it, they felt justified, because my mom, they misunderstood my mom and thought we had no hot water, and the other bit I said heat, but that's the same thing. If we had no hot water, we'd have no heat. And I have her proof, and my mom's like, she didn't call your cell phone. I never gave them your number, Laura. I know not to. And I said, Mom, let me play it for you. I'm not lying. I couldn't believe it. How dare you? But that's their power thing. They're going to do what they want, and I don't matter. And I'm left thinking, you gotta fucking be kidding me. Gotta be kidding me. Right? Do they have to treat me that way? All the things my mom would tell me they say to her. They don't know that she tells me every fucking thing. Thank God. So I can document it all. Then I had to argue, and it put me on a bad light, because this was after all this shit no, it was before all the services was called, but it was after. I don't know, I have it all. It was after that bitch had drilled my mom or whatever. But anyway, this new nurse is insisting she's supposed to sit in on my mom's doctor's appointment. I had already cleared that up months prior, that they're not supposed to unless my mom asks them to. But I don't want to cause a scene, and I know damn well who told her. She's like, well, I was told that I'm supposed to, and I'm thinking, I wonder who it was that told you. I bet you I know who it was that told you that. Oh, actually, yeah, that was the same day. I think it was the same day. One dropped my mom off, picked her up at her apartment, and then the new nurse came. Yeah, I think that was the same day that my mom, that was, I think, the same fucking day that my mom got in there, and the nurse wasn't there yet. They were going separate, and my mom was late getting there, and my mom was whispering to me what had just happened in the car. That woman, she gets them confused, but I knew it was, and drilling her and blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. This was my introduction to that new nurse. And then she's insisting that she's supposed to sit in on my mom's doctor's appointment. I was told I was supposed to. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Why do I have to be put in these positions? Why doesn't one of you know what the other's doing? You know, I found out months ago you're not supposed to. When one knew one did, when my mom, it's a total stranger on a day that I intentionally didn't go to let my mom have some privacy, and then a stranger sits in on it, and I was so upset. And now, months later, it's all to be taken care of, and this new nurse is told, oh, I'm supposed to. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. This was after that thing with the dentist incident, and I'm like, I don't want to cause a scene. This is unreal. So I'm like, you're not supposed, she's like, well, I was supposed to, and then, do you know your mom's mad? And I'm like, this is my introduction to her. And I'm like, you gotta fucking be kidding me. And in the end, because I just didn't want to have it be some other thing to use against me, even though I knew I was right, and all I was thinking was, oh my God, what if it wasn't her, she backed down. She's like, all right, I thought I was going to. And then in the end, I just invited her in because I knew my mom liked her. I went and talked to my mom privately, and I said, do you want her in here? And my mom was like, yeah. I'm like, all right, I'll invite her in. But I wanted to make sure my mom was okay with that. My mom adored that. I hadn't met her yet. But all I was thinking was this would have been a repeat of the dentist. Can you imagine if it was the bitch I'm arguing with and insisting she's not supposed to sit in on the appointment, and she thinks she does, she never admits she's wrong, and if I'm arguing with her, it would have been, you get it, you get it, you get it, people? They need to, one needs to know the rules, they need to know and be on board and consistent, and they're not. And I was put on the spot, and it was okay because it was her. My mom liked her, but what if it had been the one that drove her there, who had just drilled her in the car, who's arguing with me and insisting that she's supposed to sit in on that appointment? And I would have been like, no, you're not. And she would be like, yes, I am, because you know she'll never admit she's wrong. Just like on the phone call when I'm telling her, I didn't do this, what you're accusing me of. Yes, you did. You know this bitch will never admit she's wrong, and I would be sitting there and be put on the defensive and flustered, and it would have been a scene, and it would have been horrible. And I actually wrote them letters saying, it was okay that you sat in, but that we need clarification. I need clarification of what the rules are, because if they have changed and don't apply to my mom, I need to know. Because this new nurse, you know, I wrote it to management, I wrote it to the, you know, sat in on, and not supposed to, and then I said it was okay if it was her. Had it been that bitch who had just been drilling my mom, and I would have walked right out. I would have just left, because if I know she would have argued with me. She wouldn't respect me enough to back down, even though I knew I was right 100%. This new nurse backed down, but she didn't like it, and then she loved it when I invited her in. You get what they're doing? I had already found out months prior that they're not supposed to do it. So I don't know which way is up or down, and thank God it at least was this one. I didn't mind her being in there, but I need clarification, because if it had been the other one, I would have fucking lost my goddamn fucking mind. I would have left in tears. I wouldn't have dared argue with her, because you don't dare argue with her. Look at what happened in the dentist's office, you know? Look what happened on the phone calls. It's a joke. It's a joke where they win and me and my mom lose, but then she gets sick and she does the only thing that she can deal with, and that's they're her friends and I'm the enemy, and I can't say a word against them or even warn her not to trust them. Where does that leave me? It leaves me writing shit like this to Joe and Selena and Churchwoman. They think I'm the problem. I, Selena, Joe, and various lawyers I spoke to and wrote to online when my mom was well, when I was well, and the elder services showed up at her apartment, know that my mom wanted me to find us an attorney. I was trying to do that, but then she got sick, as you know, but thankfully didn't wind up hospitalized. Being put in the middle of me and those government people I hate hurts my mom and messes with her mind, so maybe I should just walk away and let them have what I know they have secretly wanted all along, me out of the way for good. What I sent yesterday. Then I sent this to Churchwoman. Haven't heard a peep from my mother. Do not want to talk to you or anybody else. It's my right, i.e. to not talk to anybody. And then I didn't talk to Joe or Selena either, okay? I am hurting and need to paste a fake smile on my face for contractor and her plumber Wednesday today to cry and clean. Did I do that much cleaning? No, but I at least got dressed, and I at least did some cleaning, and I found my salt. You know, I can't do without my Himalayan crystal salt. I knew I'd had another bag, but if I couldn't find one, that would have been sucky, because I just can't. I can live on whatever's here, which I don't think I have any meat, but I have plenty of beans. You know, I have food, it's fine. In fact, I have stuff that I needed to cook up, spinach and mushrooms, and you know, that was supposed to be a nice meal for my mom, and meat, and at least I found my salt. This to Joe, trying to condense it. He doesn't like to read long texts from me, and I don't know how much he reads and how much he doesn't, but don't want to bother you, just want you to know, Mom, police, I'm all alone, worse than a few months ago, headed to shithole nut house, I haven't heard a peep from her, barely functioning, but trying to clean, contracted plumber, hopefully come Wednesday, and finally everything done, I will smile while dying inside. Again, we had a storm and I didn't shovel, and we got enough that needs to. I don't know if it's going to melt, or because if it's solid ice last time, if it doesn't melt, they want to. Last time we had to cancel because she's like, I'm not coming if I can't park in the driveway, and I'm the one that has to shovel. You know, that was when we had that solid ice that was really frozen. You couldn't budge it. So hopefully that won't be like tomorrow, because I really need this over with. Yeah, if the bitch can judge the outgoing message I left for my mom and extended after screen on my own personal cell phone, the number that I'd never given these people and wasn't expecting them to call me. I mean, and of course she can judge the big mess in the living room. She can judge any little thing. It probably smells in here. They can judge that too. You know? Try to let out constantly. You know, my mom, we try. My mom lets him out. You know, sometimes he just, you forget, or you get caught up in other stuff. Or there have been times when my mom is out of control and bitching and screaming and yelling for me to do this or that for her, find her phone, and then I'm not paying attention to Homer, and he goes and pees on my boxes in the living room. You know, it's like, I'm just one person. My mom has, just so you know, before you think, oh, whatever. And my mom knows I do YouTube. Whether or not she's happy about it is irrelevant, because, people can write books, it's the same damn thing, and they reveal everything. And my mom has talked about wanting to write a book. She even started her autobiography and very personal shit in a notebook, and then she lost the notebook. You know? She said to me on more than one occasion, tell my story, but then she thinks she's going to tell her own story. Doesn't matter. I've been through hell and back in this life. I'm all alone. I have nobody. I already told you what Joe said before about when with my aunt and all that. Do a GoFundMe. What's a GoFundMe? It's going to reveal all the personal, appeal to the world. Get money, get a lawyer, fight your aunt. It'd be the same thing now if I do a GoFundMe. It's no different. People do GoFundMes and they have to reveal personal shit. It's just how it is. I have nothing, nobody, I have no one to protect me. I've told you that my mom and I are trapped, and now she's made me into the enemy if I dare say anything against her friends. The same friends she was saying, I don't trust you. Laura doesn't trust you. The same friends that she wanted we wanted to get an attorney and fight it all. I'm the enemy. I don't know what my mom's thinking right now. I said to the nurse, I said, you know, I waited to see if I would hear from her, because, you know, and I said, how's she doing? She said, they always say, oh, she's doing all right, and, you know, what are they supposed to say? And does she know she's being sick? And she's like, yeah, I told her. And I said, can you just tell her I love her? And I said, you guys have my number, you know, tell her I love her, and if she wants to call me, call me. Then, the contract is supposed to come tomorrow, and I had to leave this on my voicemail, because I sure as fuck, I'm sure you understand, I'm not going to be talking to my mom or anybody representing my mom while these people are here, and they're thinking all the things they have to do. They're going to be here for quite some time, okay? It's not going to be here a half an hour or something. So this is I changed my voicemail, similar to the one I shared with you before. It's almost identical. Can't talk to anyone if they call, even if it's my mom, you know, while these people are here, you know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. I'm supposed to be supervising them anyway, and I'm just not going to do it. But speaking of my room, it's disaster. I can't show it to you. I couldn't even take a video because it would reveal something personal, inevitably papers or whatever. The original plan was to take everything from the living room and put it in my room, but that's not going to work because there's no room in there for everything. You understand? If I can't put it in the closet and I'm piling it, the kid's no room. I can't do it that way. She needs room to get in there and do my closet. So should I do just the opposite? Now that I don't have to worry about any of these bitches coming by. I don't have to worry about anybody coming by, be it police or... So remember the other day it was me calling 911 in the morning, medical 911, and then my mom not going when she had fallen, and then she drags herself over to the couch or whatever, but I didn't want to help her up because I know she said she was in pain, and I don't want to risk that. You know, I didn't want to. I just wanted them to come and check her out, and then she didn't want to go with them, and that was fine. And then she seemed to be fine, but then I told you the other thing. know, maybe I didn't tell you. It doesn't matter. That's one of those things I didn't tell you. I might tell you sometime. Anyway, first time around she didn't go to the hospital, but she did wind up at the hospital, and she was fine. You know, but she got x-rayed, and she's all right. She's just bruised. And then she's like, you don't even care if I'm in pain. Mom, I have the big D on the toilet, and you don't care about that. You know, you're not in massive pain. You're bruised up. You know, if you didn't even go at first, and she's fine. I'm not saying she's not in pain. I'm saying it wasn't anything serious. Okay. And I have a right to be unhappy if she can't open the pain medication that she, you know, one of the bitches bought her earlier, and instead of having me, you know, and then I had just gone to bed, she's just gone to bed, she shouldn't even be up at all, and she's turning that light on, shining in my eyes, and yelling for me, you know, can you open this up for me? And I'm like, oh my God, Doris, always, you could just go back to bed. No, I can't. You think I'm just a robot. I can't just go back to bed when you wake me up. I wind up being a lot of times up for hours, all agitated, because you shouldn't be up. You should be asleep. And I knew these were all warning signs, but again, not only identical to what happened a few months ago before I went in the hotel, but actually that was even worse than now, and she snapped out of it. But she also didn't go to the mall alone, or to the Patriots, into Boston alone. You know what I mean? She didn't do those things. And this skin of her teeth that she didn't wind up in the emergency regular hospital when she went to the Patriots against the advice of me and the church woman. Then I have to hear her say about those bitches, well, they say it's fine. Then of course they can say anything. You're not their mother, Mom. They want to be the good guys. They want you to like them and get along with them and happy and this, that, or whatever, and trust them, and you know, and so they can just say it's all coming from me, and you have no problem with them whatsoever, because now you don't, because you conveniently have forgotten what I will never forget, and you know. Last time around, the police came and got her at the mall when she was there alone too. But it wasn't, for whatever reason, wasn't as bad. Who knows why? Could have been any reason. There's no saying. Maybe the last time I don't know. All I know is this time when she went alone, she was on just 4 hours sleep. She takes her meds, goes to bed too late, takes her meds too late, gets up too early, she's up in the middle of the night, and then I'm sure she went and had coffee at the, you know, and who knows what the difference was. She was in a worse mood. And like, why is this happening to me? What am I doing wrong? Why is this happening to me again when it just happened to me 3 months ago? And she's pissed off, and then she labeled paranoid, delusional, and whatever. Because you know, if someone calls the police, it's not because she's acting manic and paranoid and delusional. I can guarantee you she just was confused at the mall, like the church woman said, when we were naively thinking this was just like last time, and we find out not even remotely. I'm sure she got labeled that by the police because she probably was belligerent with them and why are you doing this to me, and embarrassed and all the 9 yards. But I'll never know. No one's going to tell me. All the nurse said was that the police, it was a Section 12, and it was however she behaved, you know. You don't know. It's scary. It's sad. My mom's afraid of the police, so am I. Every once in a while, bad things happen where they wind up hurting or killing mentally ill people. you know? Because they don't know how to deal with them. I wish someone was there that I know and I could know exactly who witnessed it and what happened. All I get is she was paranoid, manic, delusional. But I can guarantee you that's not how she was at the... I bet you anything. It was the same as before, where they were called because she's acting confused. Remember when if she wants a job, I was told she was trying to get a job somewhere. That's what they said. And maybe if she's being like whatever, they called the cops. But the cops are the ones that labeled her that. You understand? They did it based on her behavior. And I'm telling you that her behavior is going to escalate just as mine would in that horrible traumatic situation. Maybe she was trying to get a job and being, you know, not taking no for an answer, just like when we visited her friend in the nursing home and she was insisting on they hire her to be a singer, and I knew that that's why she was going there. I went to keep her safe. You know, I got forced to do that, but I couldn't do it. The day of the Patriots Parade, the contractor was coming here. I didn't want to go to the Patriots Parade anyway. And it's not fair that I have to be manipulated, that I can't stop my mom from doing something, but if I want to protect her, I have to go with her, you know? Then she'll sit there and say, well, you wouldn't do it. It's your fault these things happen to me. You didn't go with me. I couldn't go with you. Bottom line is, am I going to know exactly what happened? No. I just know it was much worse than what happened identical 3 months ago, because then it was the same thing. Police came and got her. I'm guessing she was belligerent. And the last time she was more cooperative. So this time she gets automatically sectioned, and it was a done deal. There's no... Last time she was taken in, gets in the doctor medically clearing her first before being sent to wait to see, talk to where if she's going to be sectioned. He's like, she was singing and fine, you seem fine to me, I'm going to discharge you. So this was a different situation yesterday, you know. Who's to say why? It's not like she's been acting any different. Like the church woman, before we knew what had really gone on, I had to call and say, we have bad news. She's like, I just saw her yesterday, nothing's going to happen, don't worry, Laura, that's why I can't deal with her, because even when bad things happen, it'll reach a point where she'll be like, she'll acknowledge the bad things, whatever they may be, but then she'll just be like, oh, well, we'll just pray on it, and that's when I need her out of my life. Can't deal with her. And it's not me using her or whatever, because I never invited her back in my life in the first place. My mom did. Say, get it? Just like I didn't invite that woman over to look at this place at 8 in the morning, and church woman agreed with me. She's like, no, you have every right to not meet anybody that your mom brings into this house and demands that you meet. No, you have that right, Laura. Tell that to my mom, church woman. Oh. And that was supposed to be a new rule that we would write down. You know, come up with other rules too. I need 24 hours notice before you have anybody over here. Okay. But anyway, church woman was trying to have it be where, you know, trying to get my mom to stop behaving that way, and she blah blah blah. But in the end, it all was for nothing, because you know, nothing we could do about it. She was headed to another mental health facility, and because I'm in hell, and because it's probably going to be one of the two horrible ones. Nothing I could do. But it just amazes me how there'll be people in this way. You just have to stay strong, Laura, and you have to do this, you have to do that, you know. Meanwhile, I'd be justified in not even have gotten dressed today and just lied on this couch all day and cried. completely justified, all things considered. But did I do that? No. Did I get as much done as I needed to get done? No, but I at least got dressed. I made my videos. I took care of Omar. I cleaned some, and, I at least didn't lie on the couch all day and cry and do nothing. Because I need this freaking contracted thing to be over with. And if they don't come, it's not going to be my fault. You understand? I need this to be over with. I have to paste on a happy smile and pretend. That's why, I have to not answer the phone, either one, and that's it, I'm not going to talk to anybody while they're here, and that's the bottom line. But I have to let people know. It could be somebody calling on behalf of my mom, why I'm not answering the phone, why I'm not, I think on this one, because you only can put a tiny little bit, I'll put contractor and plumber here, can't talk to anybody, leave a message, bye. Because this only lets you to a tiny, tiny, tiny little message. Not on the extended absence greeting, Extended absence greeting, I could go on, and then I get condemned by this bitch who just entered my mom's life and mine, just 5 months ago. Gets to sit there as judge, jury, and executioner me, and I use that in the letter that I wrote after the fact, after the shit hit the fan with her drilling my mom and all that crap, like I said, and then the shit hit the fan worse. Elder services shut up at Mom's doorstep, because I'd had the nerve to question these people or say they have no right to ask my mom questions like that, and etc., putting them in their place, feeling totally justified, and I know that I was justified, but not in their warped minds, see? In their warped minds, I have no rights. I have no right to come to my mom's defense or question them in any manner whatsoever, or try to stop them from protecting my mother and getting to the bottom of a situation that they are sitting there judge, jury, and execution of me and having not a clue in the universe what went on in the years and years and years prior